Hey everyone, my name is Keith Parsons. I'm the Senior Sales Engineer here for LiveAction, and I'll be doing the presentation today. So I was looking at the attendee list, and I can see that about half of the attendees are existing customers, and the other half are new customers. So welcome everyone to our presentation today on LiveAction 3.1 overview. One of the first things that I want you to notice is that we've changed our company name. We're now going to be called LiveAction going forward instead of Action Pack Network. So our product's always been called LiveAction. Most customers always referred to us as LiveAction, so it just really made sense, and so we decided to go forward this year with a new company name, and our company name and the product name is both now LiveAction. So what we'll have today is an overview of what's new in LiveAction 3.1. Some solutions to IT challenges, LiveAction versus Intelligent WAN Management Platform, LiveAction versus other tools is a quick look overview, and then a demo of 3.1 and the new functionality. So I'm Keith Parsons. I'm your speaker today. I've been around for quite a while, over 35 years, background in protocol analysis. I've been with the company over 5 years now, so I've enjoyed my time here at LiveAction. So been on the market, troubleshooting, network analysis, design. So been in this industry for quite a while. So it's a pleasure to be able to speak with you guys today. The IT challenges today really are understanding how to fix video, voice, and application traffic issues. We want to deploy really the technology that Cisco is giving us, such as quality of service, application visibility and control, the new IWAN initiative, PFR, IP SLA, to help resolve problems and give us visibility into the network. And we want to understand more about who, what, where, and when about what's going on in our network today. LiveAction is the application-aware network performance management and quality of service control tool. From deploy, analyze, troubleshoot, and fix, we're actually one of the few tools in the industry that can actually find the problem, analyze it, troubleshoot it, and then take corrective action. To do so, we use a variety of technologies, everything from NVAR2 to SEF, quality of service, AVC, Medianet, IP SLA. We do use command line. So depending on what we're looking for as far as deploying, analyzing, troubleshooting, or fixing, we're taking advantage of what Cisco has made available for us and leveraging the router and switch that's in your network today. Some of our customers, just to show the vertical, so we've expanded ourselves quite rapidly. The tool started out as a Department of Defense tool, so we started out in the government sector for the DoD, and then we took the product to the commercial market a few years ago, and it's very well, and it's adapted very well because of its uniqueness from the quality of service configuration standpoint and the ease of monitoring and analysis. LiveAction 3.1 has now been released, so all the existing customers that are on the call, as soon as you're done today, you can go to the site and download. Actually, 3.12 is available with enhanced features. Some of the new features that we're actually have put into the tool is a new powerful keyword search across millions of flows and hundreds of reports for targeted troubleshooting. I'll just have to demonstrate this to you, but now we're using the IP6 ANSI standard to be able to say that you can virtually filter on any single thing that you like to. It's the IANA standard, by the way, for the IP6 info elements. So I have unlimited capability in the reports today. With alert drill down, with well-defined workflows to drill down from alerts into the actual flows, pinpointing who is having the issue and what the issue is. So we continue to work on the workflow, the ability of drilling down from a high level down to the problem and then taking corrective action. The report drill down is just increased to where I'll just have to demonstrate to my existing customers for enhanced workflows with 360-degree report views. So now you can pivot within reports, change the angles of report, customize them, even create your own report with any single element. So now, once again, the situation of saying there's not a report that gives me the information I need, those days are over now with our new reports that we have available. And so with MFI support, we're also supporting Cisco's latest media service interface capabilities, including visualization of the reverse media trace to analyze video performance based on the video's incoming path. For those of you who are familiar with MSI, the ability for the camera and the endpoint, such as a Tandberg EX60 or EX90 now, can support within media trace and be part of that path, and now can be able to see true end-to-end visibility using the Medianet functionality that's in the routers and switches, and then with MSI 4.0 support now coming up in the true endpoints now, we can even take it further to the very end. We now have a new feature called Medianet Path Analysis. So when we've been doing media trace, which involves pushing CLI commands to the devices, which can load the devices, we can actually now run a Medianet path analysis, and it's a rich visualization, hop-by-hop path analysis based on the Medianet perfmon and the QoS data. So we're actually showing the actual flows, parsing the flows hop to hop to hop to be able to give you an idea of what's happening without having to go to command line to initiate a media trace. So this is quite leading edge. Wireless user identity. So now with the wireless client information, when Cisco Wireless Controller is integrated with the Cisco ISE, I can now drill down to a user, see the application, see what they're doing, and I'll give you a demonstration of how rich it is now on how we've got information of being able to go from a high level all the way down to seeing what application and to where they're going as well. And the configuration audit trail. As one of the things a lot of the customers have asked for is when someone makes a change in LiveAction, can you track that change? If they're changing a policy, implementing a policy, well, guess what? Now we provide an audit trail for who makes what device configuration changes and when is now in the tool. So better visibility and control of device configuration changes and who's making them. And also, very importantly, performance improvement by 5 times. So we continue in each release to improve performance. So where you're doing daily or weekly reports, that the reports run much faster and give you the ability of getting the information you need much sooner. So we're very pleased, once again, with revamping the database and the ability of being able to get these reports and information much faster. We really are the solution to IT challenges today, whether it's voice and video optimization, quality of service configuration, WAN bandwidth management, application performance and troubleshooting, baselining capacity planning, and cybersecurity. LiveAction fits into all these areas today with its rich, robust end-to-end topology, our ability of taking advantage of Cisco, what they've put in the devices today, and once again, our ability of being able to be leading edge, but being able to do PFR, first being able to do Medianet, being able to support AVC, so the multiple flow technologies as well as our ability of querying unique MIBs within the devices to bring back critical information make us really an industry leader today. So once again, if we're looking at, for those of you who are on the call for intelligent WAN management, we do have that functionality in the tool today. So I know that Cisco now is talking a lot about the iWAN initiative, and we fit into that very well with PFR path control, visualization and reporting, AVC visualization, quality of service monitoring configuration, and the ASA NFDL template, a logging and alerting functionality that we have. And as you can see, with the intelligent WAN solution components that they have for the iWAN initiative, the different features of LiveAction fit in very well for each section. So we are, once again, one of the tools that is leading the initiative for intelligent WAN solutions. At this point in time, I'd like to go ahead and start the demo and show LiveAction 3.1. For those of you who are familiar with the tool, you know that we have our new dashboard. So the first thing that we have now is a quick system view of everything that was happening that's in the network that's reported into LiveAction. From the system overview, now we see our CPU, memory, top 10 interface bandwidth and drops, and even now the site that can be tagged for WAN interfaces. So we have our performance and utilization for those. Also, there's a graph showing the alerts based off groupings. So flow versus quality of service versus IP SLA. So these alerts can all be easily drilled down on and then corrective action taken from the alert. So it's very nice to have this all in one view. So if we click on the QoS tab, we also get the QoS view showing input, output bandwidth, drops by bit rate, input, output, top 10 application bandwidth, and the QoS alerts that are occurring, such as drop rate, interface drop rate, are all being shown. From the flow view, it is the top and destination addresses, the flow alerts that we're seeing now being shown, as well as top 10 DSVP, top 10 interfaces. And look, if you're running Medianet and ABC, I'm showing you top 10 voice and video performance and application performance and top 10 applications using NVAR2. And then IP SLA. For those of you who use IP SLA, we alert and alarm on it very well and show you the conditions that are occurring. So I like the dashboard view that we've had in our recent release of product. For those of you who are not familiar with LiveAction, this is what it looks like when we're looking at 5 devices. So the circles are the actual router or switch, and then the smaller circles are the actual interfaces. So we can actually see the topology view, and for the most part, LiveAction will help associate these links and draw them, or we can link the MPLS links together to form a cloud to be able to have an accurate view of what your network really looks like. So this is very nice that we can see in one view the ability of seeing the entire map if needed. One of the things that we've done within LiveAction is the ability of having the audit feature. So those of you who know the audit report, it continues to be enhanced and improved to be able to show where problems exist with your QoS policies very, very easily. So we have the audit report, and we audit every QoS policy that's on the network. And, of course, you can go ahead and examine the details of any of those policies very, very easily. We use flow. So if we take a look at NetFlow, as we're showing right now as an example, we have the ability of being able to at any time go out and show the flows from one endpoint of the network all the way to the other. So one of the nice things is that how we group the flow information is shown really easily from within the tool. So as you can see, the colors represent the different types of traffic that are going across the network right now. So as you can see, I've got web, internet, and other types of traffic that are represented by the arrows that we're seeing right now. So very easily, I can change the arrows to mean DSCP markings, to look at port ranges, etc. But as we can see, the traffic, I very quickly can highlight different types of traffic, such as this voice arrow I'm highlighting now. I can show you the rate, the bytes, and the packets, and how many flows. So I can, for example, key on that actual flow, right mouse click, create a filter to show only those flows. And as you can see now, I'm examining the voice traffic going through the network, and I can change it to class markings. And look, 3 of the calls are actually marked red. So red is the EF traffic, as you can see at the bottom left corner. And so we can see that they're being marked correctly. But look at this one call. I got the SIP traffic running in best effort, and I've got the actual call itself is running in an odd class, DSCP 41. So I've got an issue. What is new? All my existing users, I want to show you something that you're really going to like. Look, I'm going to click on one of the flows and do a show flow path analysis, and look what happens. Now I'm actually parsing the flows for you guys, and now I'm gathering statistics, and look, Using the flows, I now show you what the path through the network. I show you CPU usage, the in and outbound interfaces it's going through, the policies that involve, and if there's any threshold crossing alerts, they would be highlighted in yellow, and if any interfaces drops, those drops will be shown now. So this is very nice, being able to have this flow path analysis feature into the tool. And so one reason to download 3.1 is the new flow path analysis. If I ask to show the path, then see naturally I show the path. And of course, if we follow the path, it's going back to an Amber interface. So if we see that Amber interface, we can double click as usual, go over and take a look, and oh, here we go. At the bottom right corner, this is the actual policy that's on this interface, and we see interactive video is actually dropping traffic. So we can see something has changed in the network to be able to make all of a sudden this class drop traffic. So all of my existing users, again, watch this. Right mouse click and look, I can show flows. I'm jumping from a QoS report directly into NetFlow for this interface, for this device. Now, isn't that nice? And so now we can go out and look at this interactive video traffic. There it is at Cisco RTP. And look at this, guys. More enhanced drill down again. I can drill down by specific flow, pivot to another report, drill down on just this video. So let's go up and look at it by address pair report and see. We can quickly see the traffic that's involved. I want to look at that traffic again, and I want to pivot it back to a DSCP report, then I can do that as well and pivot it right back to a DSCP report. If I want to take a look again, I can turn around and drill down the top analysis and look at the raw flows. Oh, it's one of the new applications that we've got. We haven't classified correctly. Well, then I can create an ACL that easily. That is drill down capability now that's built within the tool, is our ability of being able to say that we can slice and dice the data anyway. Those of you who work with the tool know that the Amber interface means that we're having drops occurring, and we can adjust the output QoS. So without going command line, I can go into the policy very easily and see here's the policy, and I could go out and change interactive video and modify this class very easily. I'm going to leave it this way for a second because I want to use it in another example to show traffic dropping. So if we go back to our home view and we go back to our flow view, let's say that we've got a problem on the network that we want to take a look at. So let's go out and select a subnet view of traffic. So you see I very easily have just set a subnet or a range of traffic view, and now here is that view of that traffic going through the network from one end to the other. And we can see the arrow is blue, and blue means best effort. So look, everybody on the call, look, here are all the conversations, see? And they're all blue, meaning best effort. I don't have a policy in place, so somewhere we've made a mistake and we didn't deploy a quality of service policy on this interface, because we should have a set DSCP policy writing on this interface, and we don't, because we can see right now there's no policy being shown on this interface. So what we can do is actually double click on this interface, and here we are looking at it, and as you can see on the input side, there's no policy in place. So what I can do very easily is I can apply that policy to take advantage of LiveAction. So let's go to the actual interface itself, right mouse click, and I can create a policy from template. So as my existing customers know, we've updated the templates and we continue to keep them the latest and greatest supported to be able to say at any time you can roll out quality of service using our advanced templates. So here are those templates, like an 11 class baseline with in-bar matching, matching and marking, matching, marking, and queuing, the new 12 class Medianet. So we have the templates, or you can create your own policy or take advantage of the existing policy. See, I'm going to apply a policy to interface, and so I instantly pick up all the policies that are on this device. So here we go. Let's take a look. There's my set DSCP policy that should be on this interface. So let's apply it to the input side and click OK. And we can see that that policy now has been applied. One of the nice things about LiveAction is our ability of being able to manage QoS settings, and we continue to work on this. So DMVPN support now has been enhanced as an example to be able to deploy policies, as well as enhancements made specifically for ATM as an example and other technologies. And here is an example of, you see us managing the QoS settings on this device. Here's that set DSCP policy. See, here's voice over IP, signaling, high data, medium data queue. See, here's the match statements, and look, we support the new NBAR2 statement. So those of you who are familiar with application visibility and control, or NBAR2, look, here's the new NBAR group. So look, I'll select a browsing group, and where before I had to add each one of these individually, look guys, by selecting the group and adding a single match statement, I added every one of these now with a single mouse click. So go now and looking on your ISR G2s and other platforms that support NBAR2, we can take advantage of the NBAR groups as well. As easily as we still create policies on the fly from just once again, just being able to create a policy from the ground up and then being able to add classes to that policy very, very easily. I can do that. So as you can see, guys, being able to say I want to add a class to the policy, I can choose your existing classes and add one, so I can add it very easily. And see there, we've got that actual class running right now. I can delete that class. Or if we want to use a shaper, we got to do some shaping. So let's go out and put a shaper in place. I can take my existing policy that I was using and drop it right on top of that shaper, and there's a nested hierarchical policy created. That easy, and the preview CLI lets me know the changes that I've been making so far. So easy to create policies, easy to put them in place. So now that set DSCP policy is in place. But as you can see, before all the traffic was best effort, we're going to refresh now and take a look, and look, there's the actual flows going through the network, and we're beginning to see traffic now being marked as best effort and 46 EF. And this is pretty nice to be able to do this, because one of the things that's built into the tool is my ability of being able to go out and do searches. And now I can actually go out and pick searches. For instance, look, I'm going to go out and select the devices. So I'm using a flow device command, and I'm selecting 2921, flow device equals 1941, and I want to say flow dot DSCP equals PF as an example. And you see now I can hit enter and take a look at just those flows and see. There it is, just the EF traffic now going through. So I can take one of those flows, create a filter, show it, only this flow, and there it is, that one call going end to end. So let's take a look at it. It's red now, guys, so it means it's EF. So it's red going into the device, red going over the cloud, so it's staying in EF, red going all the way to the endpoint. So how do you know with quality of service that what starts out in one class of traffic goes all the way through the network and stays in that same class? What if it breaks? So what if it turned blue inside of a switch? Well, trust is not enabled. What if it went blue here in the cloud? Well, we're not matching up with our service provider. So this ability is very nice that we have, still being able to monitor end to end. Now, I want to show you something else that's new. I'm going to click on my 1941 here, and let's click the quality of service. And notice I've got no policies on this device. So let's double click on this interface and look at all these applications running. Where do I start to even deploy quality of service. What needs to be put in what class? Look at this. This is new again, my friends. Look, right mouse click, create monitoring policy using NVAR protocols. And now we go out and scan all the actual protocols, then show you what classes they need to be in, and then we can save it to the device. You can see where we're heading with this for the future of being able to do one-click QoS deployment on your network. And then so now we're starting very easily now with the ability of being able to deploy that policy and put it in place. Remember, we can already show the flows and show the application view and show the traffic as an example. Look, see, we have a lot of different traffic. Look, this traffic that's unclassified. Look, I even can go in and drill down, and I created a custom report just to show it by port, source, and destination. And see, now I've got a custom report, and look, that data that we didn't know about, I do know about it, and there it is. And of course, you know what I can do? I can drill down and show it in a top analysis report and see what that data actually is, and then do what? Create an ACL if I need to control it. So very easily, as you can see, we have the ability to give you visualization way beyond what other tools are doing. Look, there's my policy now in place, dividing up traffic based automatically on the actual NVAR definitions that were on this interface. So now I get a great head start on what policies I need, what classes, what bandwidths are going to be used, and then, of course, with our drill down, we can look at the application view, analyze the traffic more to get better visibility, and even classify that traffic which we didn't see and can identify with NVAR. So I just wanted to show you this is very nice on what we've created now in the 3.1 tool as well. In addition, I want to show you one more thing. If we go to Flow and we go over and take a look at address, I now have site traffic report. So I can go out and look at a site and generate traffic and look. Now instantly I can show you the traffic between the sites that are occurring in the network. You think, Keith, how are you pulling this off? Is we actually have a new feature of being able to put in the actual subnet values for the interfaces. So now I can do subnet to subnet tracking. So like your MPLS, and you've got site A is one range, site B is a couple of IP address ranges. I can now configure that within LiveAction and then show you this within a site map. Look, of course, I can click on San Francisco to Honolulu. I can go over and drill down on San Francisco, and then I can turn around and do what? Show it as a application report. There it is. Then I can pick YouTube traffic as an example, and I want to drill down, and I want to see who's doing that YouTube traffic. And there they are. I want to take one of those conversations, and I want to drill down, and I want to look at the actual flows. There are the flows. So the ability of being able to drill down and see the search engine with the search criteria, so it's across the bottom of the screen. You can type this in manually if you want to. We give you a great help guide to be able to know the actual IP fields to be able to use. So it's very easily done to be able to create your own. As I mentioned before, look, I can go out and create my own report. I want a report that does DSCP port and IP address and destination port and maybe prefix. Now we won't use that one. We just use port and prefix. We'll just go ahead and call it test 567 and create that report for me. And there it is. From there, I can right mouse click and automatically schedule this report. And now it's scheduled, and that can be delivered daily, weekly. It can be delivered to whoever you would like to in HTML, URL. So we have that capability now, as you can see, very easily done from within the tool. So now look at the flow standpoint, you know we've done flow, so we still support flow very well. So if we look at, say, the 2921, we're looking at the flow. Here is the basic flow. And once again, for my existing LiveAction customers, check this out. I'm going to click on the source address, that address 10002, right mouse click. How do you want to drill down? Look at that. All these reports are available. What if you want to drill down it and the destination? All those reports are down. How about drilling down on this specific flow? Now, look, that was by address. If I click on the port number, look, I drill down by port number now. Look, click on destination address. I click down by destination address. Click on application field. I can drill down by application. This is incredible now. Slicing and dicing the data any way that you want. Reports can be generated any way that you want, and gives me the ability now for the first time of being able to generate traffic. Then on top of that, using the flow path analysis. When I see a flow that I need to be curious about, I simply can highlight it, and there he is, and I can see the performance of that flow right now using our flow path analysis. I can draw it in the map, and there once again, this is easy. So this is once again advancement of the tool on how we handle flows as well. In addition, the Medianet flows are still supported. So once again, I can do Medianet. I can look at the flows themselves. If you're not familiar with Medianet, IFRG2s, 4000, 6000, 3750s, 3560s can all support Medianet. And Medianet monitors what? My voice and video traffic. So here's media bit rates, the loss event count, packet loss percentages, and jitter measurements for the first time. And think about this. No probes, no taps, no span ports. I'm just using the router switch that's in the network. And here we are looking at, once again, alerts. Everything in red is me keying alerts and alarms on these voice and video streams, indicating that there's a problem right now. So we can actually see this, including we can see packet loss percentages as well being shown. So look, let's go to the home view now, and let's go to look at Medianet, and let's go out and look at all the flows on the network, and let's look at all the voice traffic that's going through the network right now. And let's remove my filter to make it more accurate. So here's my traffic. Let's go to a table view, and here's the Medianet view, and look, here are the actual, all the flows going through. I'll click on one of those flows, and for those of you new to LiveAction, I can execute a media trace. Now this is LiveAction actually sending CLI commands to the actual router saying, monitor this path through the network. So it goes from one device to the next device, to the next device, to the next device, and then it issues the media trace commands to those devices. It follows it using RSVP protocol, and then now here's the actual path. So now I'm monitoring jitter, packet loss, packet expected, and RTP packet loss percentages can be measured. So now if I just click refresh, and now we can actually see the measurements that are coming across. And see, we can now instantly see packet loss percentages is raising on the second and third device. And if we go back to our real-time view, back to that interface. Remember the one I didn't correct earlier, the interactive video dropping traffic? So once again, you're getting alerts, remember, for every single thing happening via syslog, SMTP, or email. So someone is being notified of this problem that we're seeing right now. So the nice thing, once again, is that we eliminate the hassle of being able to run a media trace in the network, that we actually make it a one-click affair rather than you having to issue all those complex routing commands. So now, let's go back and look at the table one more time, and I want to show you something else that's new. All my existing users, right mouse click, and look. Show Medianet flow path analysis. So now I'm actually gathering the statistics, and without ever giving CLI commands to the devices. Look, I'm parsing the flows now, and I'm bringing back CPU usage. I can show you the policies that are there, so I can measure other pertinent information that then the flow can be done. So now, instantly, I can detect where the policy problem is and drill down. So for all my customers, this is new as well, is the Medianet flow path analysis that's used without having to execute a media trace. What is the advantage? I can go back in time. With media trace, I'm looking at a flow that's real time in the network, right? So if that's happening right now, we can troubleshoot it right now with media trace. With our path trace analysis, I can go back in time, minutes, hours, days, and look at the flow and then run a path analysis based off the conditions at that time. So now you're just telling me you had a problem yesterday at 1:30. Well, then we can go to yesterday at 1:30 and then run the path test and see and measure jitter and loss. So this is really quite an advancement as well. For those of you that are familiar with LiveAction and have ISRG2s, then you know that ABC exists as well. The example with ABC is the ability of going out and looking at application response times. So now if we scroll over in this flow, we're looking at retransmissions, look, being highlighted and keyed on automatically, and then we continue to look and look. Application delay, total delay, network delays being keyed on, client delay, server delay. So why do you use deep packet inspection probes like the sniffer I created 15 years ago? I put them in a network. I put Wireshark in to be able to determine delay in the network and what's causing it. Look at what I'm doing now using the ISRG2, the ASR, and other platforms that I'm taking advantage of what Cisco is providing me, and I'm using the router now to be able to troubleshoot application performance problems. Let's go to reports. Let's go to flow. And once again, let's go to ABC, and let's take a look at top application performance and take a look. And there you are. Here we are now with all the measurements for the applications. And you can see the applications are being shown right now with the actual measurements. I'm going to pick an application, and I'm going to say such as Citrix, and view that application over time. And there we go. Look, see in the actual graph, client delay is amber and server delay is blue. And look at me measuring application delay in real time. No probes. No taps, no span ports, just using what Cisco has enabled us and gave us what's in the router today. So this is very nice of being able to have this application. Also, when we're talking about ABC, what's new is the HTTP host reports. So with the HTTP host reports, I can actually go out and look at hosts and see here they are. So we've been able to do this in previous versions of code. But look, what if this was www.imahacker.com in China? So why have I got devices going to that website in China, right mouse click, drill down, go up to top analysis, and show me the raw flows, and there they are. Isn't that nice now? Being able to look at any HTTP host that's going across the network and then turn around and show it in top analysis view. So I like this capability that we've added into the drill down as well. And in addition, if we look at wireless, we haven't left you guys out either. So I can go out and look at my 3850 as an example and look at, say, wireless reports. And now I can generate information based off them as well, such as a wireless client report can be run. And let me start over from the ground up. Sorry about that. So let's click on the 3850 and let's go to wireless reports. And from the wireless reports that are shown, I can go to reports and flow. And now here we have application reports being shown. I'm going to jump over to the wireless report, select the wireless client report, and then run it. And see now, John Doe's on my network. I wonder what John Doe's doing. Let's turn around and drill down by application. And there he is. Look at that. Doing YouTube, some others, doing some video voice on it. Yeah, we want to drill down again and maybe look at it from a address pair to see who he's actually going to. You see, very cool drill down now from within wireless as well. So that support is now incapable within the 3.1 as well. And as we go back and take a look, there's one more thing I'd like to show you that I had to do this. I had to record it in my lab. So I'd like to show you that. This is a case of us looking at PFR. So those of you who are on the call who are familiar with performance routing, look, this is a device on the left-hand side, and I've got video traffic or voice traffic going through the network, through AT&T's network here, and then we can actually see it going to the 2921 on the right-hand side. So we can actually see the path of traffic now for this actual voice that's going through the network. And notice we have two paths now. For like an IWAN initiative, you can go through primary or backup or load balance. So what if we have an issue on one of the links? PFR will automatically reroute that traffic to the alternate link without you doing a thing. So this is becoming very popular now as PFR coming along with the IWAN initiative. So what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm actually going to turn around and with the test equipment and start generating errors on this top link that we have. So let's go out and select PFR. See, it's a flow. We see it's just like the other flows we were showing. And we're going to look for the PFR reason, and we're going to start monitoring PFR status. Now, remember, these are flows that are being reported in for PFR. And so as we monitor those flows, look, there we go. Unreachable destination has occurred from where I started generating a failure on that one link. And so now we can actually see it. We see it in the flow. And remember, these flows are calculated over time. So I can go back in time and look at these flows if I need to, as well as we can drill down and use them to help isolate things that happen at a particular time. So let's take a look as an example of that. Let's go down and look at the alert. And see now, I'm going to turn around and do a historical search on the PFR alert. So filter by alert type. Let's scroll down here and select PFR out of policy. And there's the event. Now let's turn it into a report. And sure enough, there you go, right there at 4 o'clock. I had an out of policy event of unreachable. And so this is with us very easily monitoring and following problems that are occurring with using PFR, and such as in an IWAN initiative. So running with PFR now that we actually can see the path that we were using before, let's refresh now and see. The path is now changed. See, we now see the voice traffic is being rerouted now through the alternate carrier because of the failure in the primary, and it was swapped automatically. PFR is doing its job, and as you can see, LiveAction now. I'll refresh one more time and see now we can actually see that path going through the bottom half of the network. So this is an example of how LiveAction works with PFR and the ability of noticing reroutes through the network. So we've been working on this very hard over the last couple of releases, and we're also going to be supporting the new upcoming releases of PFR. So those of you who are thinking about migrating, this is a great tool now to be able to use to help troubleshoot and monitor PFR. So it is about monitoring different flow types, as you see today. To wrap this up, guys, from the routing perspective now, we do monitor the adjacencies as we always have. So the adjacencies are still there. And so we know about anything going down as well as anybody because we monitor that adjacency table, as you can see. And if you got any questions about anything that I've asked so far, just go to the Q&A tab now within WebEx and actually just go ahead and type in your question, and we'll have someone answer it for you. So there is a Q&A window there within WebEx. So this is the actual routing functionality of us showing the adjacency, and I can also do next hop. See, I've put in a source and destination and shown the route, and I actually can show you the route in both directions very, very easily. And look, I even show you all the routes. So if I want to track a route through the network, look, I have all those routes and entries. Now, how can I pull this off? Because I've got the routing table. I've got the routing table, and I can actually show the routes of every single device going through the network now, and we can monitor them very easily. In addition, I also control policy-based routes. So I also look at PBRs, so you can add, edit, copy, delete, and apply policy-based routes. For those of you who use IP SLA, as you can see, I'm a great IP SLA tool. See, once again, I'm running some tests right now, and they're showing green, so green looks good. And so once again, we can actually show those tests and, of course, report on them through the reports very easily. Or I can just right mouse click and actually show a time series. And with our new approved reports showing latency, jitter, and loss, and the loss score, I'm now showing destination source and destination for latency and jitter as well. So this is very nice of being able to see this occurring in the network, that I can monitor the paths that are going through now with IP SLA. So this is, once again, a strength of the tool that we've enhanced from our previous release now, is to give more details. And, of course, all this is going into a back-end database. This at the bottom of the screen is going to be interesting to some of you on the call, is that if you've got 3750s and 3560s, this is the ability for me to generate video traffic from those devices. And now I can actually stress test and simulate video traffic over the network using IP SLA VO video operation. So as an example, I can go out and manage the test. So let's take a look at this test. So now I can go out and select the type of video traffic I want to emulate and the number of tests I would like to simulate, maybe 1 stream, 3 streams, 5 streams, till I find that breakpoint. So now I just simply put in the type of video traffic, the number of streams. Is this network a mesh or hub and spoke? So I select it as well, and then select the devices and add those and select the interfaces I want to test from. So I can, once again, test multiple devices and multiple interfaces. We'll just test one. We'll set a value for how long we'll run this stress test. And what I do is all the heavy lifting. Look at this. Here are all the CLI commands that are pushed out from one end to the other, to the devices. So now, once you push those commands out, the IP SLA VO test begins, and now I can measure the results very easily. See, I can go up to reports, IP SLA, video operation time series, execute that report, and there's the latency, jitter, and loss now. So yes, you can now answer that question. Well, how many video streams can we get from point A to point B in the network? Well, we can simulate that now with the IP SLA VO. The last thing I'd really like to show you is our LAN functionality. This is the LAN tab now, and notice I've selected VLAN 1. And remember, amber means bad, so in the path of VLAN 1, let's take a look. Green, 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 green. Going across the port channel looks good. Let's go over here now and take a look at my backbone. And look, see, we'll chase that path, and it goes up. There it is, look. VLAN 1 goes right through an interface. It's taking errors on the input side because it's the upper half is amber, means input. So let's double click and take a look at VLAN 1, and there we go. Port channel 4 and gigabit Ethernet 01 are both showing amber. So in the next update, we'll get to see the input drops by packets per second for this particular interface, and there you go. Now think about what we've just done. We've just troubleshot a global VLAN problem down to which interface is causing trouble. If that's not good enough for you, look over here. I'm going to select the 6509 and show you the layer 2 QoS. Somebody on this call today is setting queuing on switches in your network, whether you're doing it auto cost or you're doing it manually. Someone is turning around and is setting those values on those switches. So now, for the first time, we actually go out and monitor the interfaces for queue drops. I've never seen a tool do this before, and now we're monitoring now queue drops, showing you the port type, where the trunk, the truss, direction, the queue, and even the drop rate and the calls map, see, for interfaces with queue drops. Oh, we got a voice problem on the network, well, video problem. Let's look at the priority queues. Calls map 5 is EF46, right? So here we go, the drop rate. And look, this isn't a layer 3 class drop. It's not an interface drop. It's an actual queue drop that we're detecting in the tool. And once again, haven't seen a tool do that. Now, in addition, I'd like to show you one or two last things. The first one is that I've got another network now, and let's troubleshoot VLAN 10. Look, see, all green. All the interfaces look green so far, so that looks good. But have you ever seen a tool do this? The standing tree configuration. So this is the root bridge in blue, and green, once again, is forwarding, and red is blocking. So now, once again, we can easily see standing tree by VLAN and see it. If any of this changes, we alert and alarm to it instantly. And also have defined IP MAC. So I can put in a IP address and resolve it back to the interface, the MAC address, and the VLAN. So we still have that feature in the tool together. As you can see, 3.1 continues to evolve with the new features that we've added. Everything that you've seen now that I've demonstrated today is just the advancement of just the latest and greatest. So, you know, the improved reporting of the execution time, the improved workflow that I've shown you before. Unlimited fields now are available within NetFlow. So if a new field comes up tomorrow, we instantly can pick that field up and integrate it. The text-based filter with the IP6 info elements using the IANA assignment. So now we can generate reports and drill down using our search filter very easily as well. The flow path analysis for both Medianet flow path and our normal flow path analysis to give you that visibility, as well as the IP SLA jitter reports enhancements, has really now, once again, we have continued to raise the bar for monitoring and analysis. We are still the leader for QoS and configuration, as you've seen today. But now, as you can see, we've actually taken it to the next level of being able to monitor traffic through the network end to end and give you that effectiveness that you need in a dynamic tool. I appreciate everybody's time today to allow us to be able to show the tool. And if you've got any questions, just let me know, and you can actually put them up in the Q&A window right now. But we really appreciate you today being able to come visit us at LiveAction and allowing us to show you the new 3.1 LiveAction code. So if you need to get a hold of us, of course, it's www.actionpack.com and sales@actionpack.com if you need further information. So thanks again for attending, and everyone have a great day.